Welcome back everybody, my name is Mayhem and this is Rupture. So we find ourselves in Belgium, in the small village of Frontenay. Now a lot of battles have happened here. The British fought here in 1745 in the War of Succession, ironically against the French, only to find ourselves back a little over 150 years, this time fighting against the Germans. So that's the history out of the way, and now for the commentary, my thoughts on this map. Well, it's a pretty heavy armour based map, but that is exactly how it's supposed to be designed. DICE wanted two maps with a lot of armour, which kind of replicates the battles in history and the way they were actually fought. And then obviously there's two infantry based maps, and so this is one of the armour based maps, and this is actually one of the armour based maps that I think works. The other one, not so much. You'll see me do some reviews in the future on Soissons, but for me, the map itself is just so heavily populated with armour, and the map layout itself, you either get snipers on the hill looking into the village, and the whole place is just populated with tanks shooting onto the hill or sitting on the hill and shooting down into the village. But anyway, off topic and getting away from that, don't care about Soissons, we're talking about Rupture. So, does it work? Yes, it works. It's absolutely fantastic, tip-top, shit hot. The openness of this map is absolutely superb. The terrain, the openness, some of the key buildings and some of the way the flags are orchestrated together enable a combination of fabulous gameplay, whether you're a sniper, whether you're an assault player, whether you're a medic guy, or even you playing support. It all works, and I think there's a little bit of something for a little bit of everybody. Me personally, obviously I'm a sniper, and so for me, the openness of the map and the ability to get some longer range shots and some long sight lines for me is absolutely on point and spot on. Absolutely love it. The gameplay is super absorbent, and I'm not talking about bog roll or toilet paper if you live in the United States. I'm talking about the actual indulgencies of the whole map as a whole. Absolutely fantastic. DICE have done an absolutely stellar job with this map, although it does take a little bit of time and a little bit of thought to work out what you're going to do, where you're going to go, and how the balance of the map actually works. And the balance is something along the lines of this. The map plays out across 4 quadrants, 4 quarters if you want. There is obviously 5 flags on the map, but not everybody spends the majority of their time fighting over those flags. The games where you find people jumping from A to B to C to D, this game does not play out like that. The map is vast, it's very, very big, and I think it offers a little bit of something for absolutely everybody, depending on what class you play and what you prefer. I think it goes a long way into offering something for absolutely everybody in the game. So the 4 quadrants are split very comfortably and I think very cleverly, and I think very deliberately by DICE. You have the C flag and the A flag on one side, you have the D flag and the E flag on the other, and then you have the map split in half by this bridge, which is obviously where they've slap bang butter straight on the top of that. And so everybody will initially take their own flags on their own sides. Naturally everybody does that, and then everybody migrates towards butter. Well, what happens is that you have this 4-way congregation of fire, I guess, that comes down onto butter. But as the map progresses and as everybody kind of backs away from the butter flag, then you find that you have 4 separate battles start evolving on this map. So you have these battles at E, you have these battles at D, you have these battles at C, and you have the battles at A. And each single flag offers you a completely different dynamic and a different way of playing the game. So let's start with Alpha. Normally spawn on that side, not quite sure the way that works, but I mean, whatever. But I always spawn, or seem to always spawn on that side. And Alpha offers you, it's got like there's a bunker system on there, and there's some like dugout trenches and whatnot and stuff like that. There's some great sniper vantage points if you come straight off the flag and face straight towards the river. There is an embankment, you can lean over that and look straight onto the D flag. So if you want to get some early pickings in the game, that's a fantastic spot to do that from. And then we move over to the Charlie flag on the other side, where you've got this very small village with some buildings, and on the back side of it you've got this mound of dirt with some trees, and it looks down into the map, which is typically, if you're spawning on the Alpha side, which is where the enemy are going to come from there. And then on the back side of that you have this open field, but it's got haystacks in it, which is a really, really clever move on the part of DICE, because it enables people that if you're coming back to take that flag, if you've lost it, or even if you're attacking from the other side, there is a large flanking route. You can go right the way round the outside, across the river on another bridge, and then you can bring yourself up into this field, but hidden behind the haystacks. So you can move across open cover, or open ground I should say, but you still get cover in the meantime, and you can look back down into the Charlie flag and pick out or knock off anybody you want to do in there. Now you have to understand that my gameplay and my commentaries are always going to be engineered and designed around a sniping perspective. That's the game style that I like to play, and that's what I get off on the most, I guess. And so from this perspective, I'm looking at cover to move and transition so I can move around the map and pick people off with a sniper rifle. Not going to work out if you're running, you know, an MP18 or something like that. Then obviously you want to keep it more tighter, and you can do that as well, in which case I would suggest hugging the bridge, crossing the river, hugging the bridge, and taking yourself off up the other side and across towards Delta and towards Echo and all the rest of it on the left and the right. That being said, on the top of the maps there, on those flags, the E flag has another little village or town into it. There is an anti-aircraft gun in there for all that's worth. Obviously with the latest nerf, we'll call it, the anti-aircraft weapons are absolute shite. I mean, I can shoot people in the face with the thing as an infantry soldier, and you're not going to die. So against an airplane, it's retarded. You're better off using your sniper rifle. In fact, you'll see some of that in this gameplay where I can shoot a bomber down in 6 shots, but I could plug away at him with an anti-aircraft gun and it'd carry on flying, give me the finger and keep on going. So that's a mistake on my part, because this map is then dominated by air traffic as well, but whatever, it's kind of like Heathrow, to be honest with you. But anyway, off topic, changing the tangent, but the E flag has a lot of buildings in it, and it is, again, it has this hill with some trees on the top and a fallen down tree, so the attacking people can look down into that flag, and they all sit on the top of that mound and look down into that flag, whereby the people that are trying to take it over and the enemy or the opposition team can sit behind the fence in the buildings and shoot back. So you get this great little balance, but what you do get is this interesting little dynamic where there's this little battle all around this little flag. But in the meantime, now you transition over to D, and you've got a similar thing going on over there, except we're back to more turrets and more in the ground built-in structures. So there's trenches, there is a howitzer cannon. You can't get on the howitzer cannon, it's covered up, but that's all sitting there. And again, it still offers some great sight lines for snipers if that's what you want to do and that's where you want to be, and that still offers up that as well. So all in all, what do I think about this map? Well, I think DICE have absolutely nailed it on the head. It does offer finally something for absolutely everybody. You're not bogged down by the armor. The armor is not in your face 24/7. You're just tired of getting killed by tanks, which you're going to find on Soissons. But on this map, it seems to work. There's a fluidity to it, and you get these 4 raging little battles on all 4 different flags that just seems to work for me. And you can, you get a little bit of a spice on it, something different on every time you play it. So for me, highly recommend this map. Certainly coming out to be one of my favourites. You're not going to beat, for me, Verdun Heights. Love that map to absolute death. But this is a very, very, very close second. It's a little bit brighter than Verdun Heights, so your visibility is great, although you will see fog come in at certain times. But for me, DICE nailed it with this one. Definitely one of my favourites. Can see it being a fan favourite, and look out for more gameplay on this map from me in the future. If you like the commentary, you like what you hear, and you like what you're seeing so far, please please subscribe. And if you want to leave a comment, whether it be negative or positive, I don't care. It's great. All the feedback is well received, and I will try and apply it to what I do and in the future, and hopefully get better and all the rest of it. So you'll see me during the week. Going to try and do some weapon reviews. But in the meantime, have a wonderful Sunday and stay safe. And I'll see you in the next one. Ta-da.